I was booked for a 45-minute thing and they booed as I walked out. So they were not ready. They didn't want this. It was non-consensual singing. And then about 5 minutes in, every single person at the thing was standing with two fingers in the air. I have tried to be in a cool band. I've tried to do other things. The only thing that seems to have really stuck, got my little hooks into things, is when I'm like fully myself.
When Astrid Jorgensen hosted her first pub choir in 2017 at the Bearded Lady Bar in Brisbane's West End, 70 people turned up, and Astrid was absolutely thrilled. Fast forward nearly a decade later, and that choir has grown to a global juggernaut where tens of thousands of people join in its chorus at venues all over the world. Despite its growth, pub choir remains as it always was, and just as Astrid has always described it, a group singing lesson that doesn't suck. Astrid's idea of bringing people together to sing just one song is not necessarily a new idea, but what's special is Astrid's way of doing it. The former teacher has a Bachelor of Arts, majoring in oral music and conducting from the University of Queensland, and a Master of Music in vocal performance from the Queensland Conservatorium. She knows how to arrange a song and assign its various parts. She knows what will sound good in harmony and what won't. But most of all, she knows how to bring people together for a bloody good time. I loved my conversation with Astrid about pub choir, about her new book, Average at Best, and why in an increasingly disconnected world, we remember the power of our voices when they're raised together. This is Frances Whiting's Humankind, a new limited series from the Courier Mail and the Sunday Mail. I'm someone who deeply identifies as being average at most things, but good at one thing, I hope, which is writing.
Yep.
And I like that you claim in your book that, you know, you're like most of us, that most of the time you're average at many things, but you're really good at one thing, well, more than one thing. So just tell me a little bit about the title and why it was important for you to put that label on it as opposed to, like, you know, teachers are to sing it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, I really wanted it to be immediately clear that this is not like a self-help kind of book. Yeah. I don't want anyone to... I almost think that the entire book, not just the title, but everything about it, I almost want to put out there that I don't think... Like, people come to my show and they say the hugest things to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm starting to get worried that I'm on some kind of pedestal in people's minds because they see such a small version of me on stage, like this one element of what I'm like. So I really wanted to, like, put the stamp on it, be like, no. Overall, I am deeply average. I think everyone is if you add everything up. And the book is about, if you add everything up, this is what I've been left with. Like, this is what I can do when you add every single ingredient up.
Of all the things you've learned along the way, it's all led to...
so many of them seemed dumb and pointless, but I'm really, like, convinced, I'm certain that everything counts all the time.
And that's interesting that you say that with your added success, there can be a pedestal element to great success.
Yeah.
And people think that people who are very well known, that they kind of might have all the answers.
Yeah, I think people come to the show and they'll often be like, thank you for doing this for the reason of freeing me from the shackles or whatever. And I'm like, I'm so thrilled that people have experiences and, like, deeper understandings of themselves during my show or something.
Yes.
But I'm also at work. Yeah. And it's, like, really cool that I've facilitated this feeling in somebody else, but we are experiencing the events, like, you know, differently from different directions. I would love for people to take, like, ownership of their own realizations and conversions at the show. Like, if you've come to a new understanding of yourself and how your voice works or whatever at my show, own that. That's so cool. I'm thrilled that I facilitated that for you, but I'm
You're almost like the conduit.
Yeah. I'm the conductor in the other sense of the word, lightning conductor. Yeah. I feel like I'm genuinely facilitating this while I'm at work doing the thing that I am good at. It's like, so I feel kind of bad about it sometimes. Like, everyone's naturally good at different stuff. For some mystical reason, the thing that I'm good at, people clap. But, like, my accountant's really good at numbers, but no one claps for him when he gets, like, oh, I'm not
brilliant tax return.
Yeah, but he's probably like the Picasso of tax or something, but I'm just like, thanks. Yeah. Like, no one claps. No one claps for everyone. He goes and, like, literally saves people's lives. Yeah. But when I'm like, this is a song, everyone's like, woo. So, I mean, I'm lucky in that way that the thing that I'm naturally good at, people really
I know exactly what you're saying. I often think like, the influencers that have 8 billion followers, and it's like there's some guy who's just found the key, the DNA sequence that might unlock malaria. No one even knows his name.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say this, at the same time, you know, what I think the arts can never undersell themselves on is that at a time, a particularly, I think, bleak time in our world, the joy that you bring, and it is, you know, it's you and it's the music, like that shouldn't be discounted either.
No, I don't want to discount that. It's more like it's unfolding to me too, and I understand more about what I'm doing as it happens, but I don't want anyone to think that I sat in my little basement being like, I'm going to change the world. Like, you know, this has unfolded for me over so many concerted efforts. Like, this is not a mistake. This is not a miracle moment. This is not instantaneous. Like, I've worked my whole life chipping away at an idea, and it's like flowering for me too. And so I think this book is kind of explaining all of those things. It's almost crazy because America's Got Talent, things like that present creativity as if it is like an instantaneous thing. Like this is a miracle. I woke up and I could sing. But it's like, no, you have to practice all the time. You have to work at something your whole life if you want to get good at it. So I want people to understand that more, because I think that that's actually really encouraging. It's not that we are born on different levels.
You plug away.
Yeah, friggin' try harder. I don't know. Try harder for longer.
I want to go back to the start of the book. I love the story of your first car. I thought we might go back a bit. Can you tell me a little bit? I laughed out loud reading about when you're driving home and your feet feel something. Like, how bad are we talking this car was?
Yeah, this was so unsafe. But then it was like I kept doing the cost-benefit analysis. I'm like, I genuinely cannot afford anything else. And so I just be like, well, I can afford $500 to fix this one thing, to keep this horrible car. Like, it was a negative loop of maintenance and repairs. But I mean, it was so bad. Yeah, the steering wheel came out. And like, you need that for sure. Yeah. Like it was like and then I realized that it's all connected. And then that wasn't even the end. Like, I fixed that. I got it reattached, and then the gear stick came out, and I just thought
you thought, okay, maybe now.
Yeah. I don't even think I bought it. I still didn't have any money to buy a car, but I thought I will find another way to get about for a bit, because this is getting crazy.
But I love that story, because I feel like so many of us can relate to that first crappy car. Yeah. That you think it's like, we've got to get a queen.
Yeah, well, actually, I used to have this like weird sick pride about how bad it was. Yes. I would drive to school. For the first half of the year, I'd have to catch the bus. I'd have to catch 2 buses to work, and it would take so long to get there. And all the kids have got their like L plates in a Mercedes full of
Range Rovers.
Like Range Rover, like a 15-year-old or what, a 16-year-old driving. And so I used to have this like real sense of pride when I would pull up in the worst car that has ever been seen at the school, and I would drive all the way into the teacher's parking spot, and it's just like it barely took up one park. And everyone else said, every child had a better car than me, and I was their teacher, but I kind of was like, sickly proud of that. I was like, that's right.
I would have been proud. I would have been like, it got me here.
You're paying me.
You losers.
You paid me here. I'm being paid.
This car, all right?
Yeah, so that made me feel good.
And so then the next part, well, I enjoyed it all, but the part where you nearly joined the nunnery, we did nearly lose you to the nunnery.
It was a really close call.
I think while Sister Astrid kind of has a nice ring to it, I'm very glad we did it. But can we just go back to that time a little bit and just maybe talk to me about why you thought perhaps this was your calling?
I mean, there's so many reasons that felt right for me. But the main ones, I mean, my family was Catholic. Like, my parents went to church every week. So that was a very like communal experience, a very regular communal interaction for me. But the thing that I loved the most about church was the music. I loved that we had like a series of hot hits that would just like come back every few masses. Like, it's like, I love "So I Leave My Boots Behind." Like, you know, like when the big hits come through and everyone in church is kind of vibing, not in a this way, but just like I don't know. I really liked the the feeling of that. So, but I think I misconstrued that like joy that I felt and paired it with like an all-powerful being. But really, I think I was feeling music. It was difficult to know.
Which is very spiritual.
Yeah, it is spiritual, but it wasn't religious for me. But I think that was my favourite part. Every week I just wanted to sing the hymns, but I might have, that got a bit blurred for me. So I loved going to church.
Yeah. I think when you're a young girl and a Catholic and raised Catholic and going to church and seeing the nuns, and they are very, there is a romance.
It's romantic. And yeah, I loved the daily outfit idea. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to think about my like I love that. Just I wash my clothes at the end of the day and put it on again. Good. So good. And then I don't know, it's like it's a symbol that you are professionally nice and humble.
Yeah.
Or that you're trying to be.
Yeah.
And that you are in service and that you are you hope.
Is faith still a part of your life?
I mean, I'm agnostic at best. I think the universe is so unfathomably incredible and like such a miracle. It's almost more miraculous to me if there isn't like a supreme being that made it. The fact that this is random chance is even more incredible to me. And so I don't know. That's a big concept, but
sorry.
sorry.
Threw that one in there.
So the Kareem this is what I think's going on.
I do want to talk to you a little, which is also in the book, which is about really a lot of your book is becoming a teacher and how that has so impacted your life. You've got some great teachers in your book. You've got some not so great teachers in your book. I'm not happy with that first piano teacher.
Violent. No good.
And I was thinking, our teachers on strike at the moment. I used to be a teacher. My dad was a teacher.
Me too.
I have seen firsthand the unbelievable difference a good teacher can bring to a kid's life. So what are your thoughts on that, Astrid, like in terms of from your teaching years, like taught so many kids music and, so I'm sure some were great experiences and some not. That's such a gift, isn't it, to be able to teach a child to either play music or love music or hear music.
Yeah. All of us have jobs and are people because of teachers, even professionally or not. Like, we as a species teach one another things. So like teaching is like the foundation of everything. I respect teachers so much. It is such a bigger job than I think people who are non-teachers really understand. I think it is so much more than the school hours. And that's what the teacher striking now is saying. We are doing so much more. It was too big a job for me. I think I'm a clever, motivated person, but it was too much. And I was 20 when I got my first teacher's job.
Same.
Yeah, it was too soon as well. And I would occasionally take like a year 12 class and there's an 18-year-old in there and I'm like, you need to grow up. And I've got pimples on my face and I'm just
you listen to me.
I call the bus here and I'm an idiot. So I was like, I am in way too deep. But like, teaching is the most precious job. I mean, mothers are teachers. The act of teaching is the foundation of all society. And I just think we don't value them enough. And I think teaching is incredible. I had to find other ways outside of the classroom to teach. It was too institutional for me to thrive.
Yeah.
I'm too Catholic.
And you know how you said you're a great believer in everything,
everything matters. Yeah.
For you, those teaching years, when you conduct pub choir, your teaching skills just come through. Because to be able to walk out there and put people into the three groups, I see a lot of teaching in that. You know what I mean? The three groups, you're doing this and you're doing that. So I want to talk a little bit about, in the last article we did together, we spoke about that first gig in West End. Yeah. And you've honed what you've originally did because you had the handouts and everything. Yeah. But that too is teaching. Like working out what works best, like how do people learn best.
Yes. I keep learning. Yeah.
But I was thinking, is it the AGT thing, is it still 65 million or is it more?
It's 150, I think.
Okay. So I was thinking that first gig at West End, 70 people.
70,
Okay. If someone had said to you, Astrid, just so you know, in not that much longer, you got 70 people who are watching you tonight, but it's going to be 100 million.
Yeah.
Would you have believed it? And what would you have told yourself to prepare for?
Well, I guess no one has ever done what I'm doing before.
No.
In the way that I'm doing it. Choir is not a new concept and pubs aren't. But the idea of like en masse, I'm not sure if anyone's ever done this before. It's like a kind of a new human experience. So I don't think anyone could have said that to me because there's no example that exists
To follow. Yeah.
to follow. So I believe it. I'm kind of weirdly not surprised because I've been there every single day working really hard and incrementally improving every single day. Like at the end of every show, I'm never like, nailed it, nothing to learn. I'm like, oh, I will never do that again. Or like I will always, I've seen something that could be easier. So I don't know, I feel like if you're there the whole time, remembering that everything counts, it wasn't like I had 70 people and the next day was 150 million. There's 8 years of like, I haven't slept the whole time. I haven't had a holiday since pub choir started. I haven't turned my brain, like, you know, it's been really a big slog. So I'm not like flabbergasted. Yeah. And I almost am not even thinking about it at all.
The numbers have changed, but what you're doing,
I'm still at work.
has remained the same.
I go to work every day. Yeah.
With the tweaks to make yourself.
Yeah. There was never one big tweak. They're tiny, tiny tweaks every day. And so when you compare the 2 points, it's huge, but up close, if you zoom in, nothing's really happened to that drastically.
You say in your book you've got 3 transferable skills. You think quickly, you're a multitasker, and you love to sit down. I hate standing. I hate standing.
Yeah.
We go to a club, not that I go to that many clubs anymore, but I used to walk in and be like, right, where's the seats?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been clubbing because I'm going to stand up all night.
I would hate clubbing so
I would
much.
hate, it's so noisy and standing, you know. Come on, give me a break.
I love the way in the book, the different, like the chapters, the lists, the things like that, the advice, which is not like I know everything. It's like, here's some stuff I've learned.
Yeah, hard fought stuff, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the process of writing the book, because this is your first time.
Yeah.
So how did you find that?
It was really shockingly fluid.
Nice.
I read a lot. I mean, I love words. I guess I have been sort of practicing this whole time without realizing, because everything counts when you look back and you realize. But I have been doing the social media for pub choir and writing in my voice online for 8 years. I write all the event descriptions and I write all of the posts and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm the social media manager. Right. So I have been honing this skill of how I write so that it sounds like the show. And so I feel like I've sort of settled into my voice, but at most I write like a few hundred words describing the event.
This is a bit more.
Yeah, this is like 60,000 or whatever. So, but I feel like I have practiced chatting as me online and in words. And then I guess I wrote it over January, February this year. It was really quick. Yeah, I wrote like a yeah, I was like a chapter a week kind of thing.
Okay, and now I don't like you. And
but it's like how people write their first album. That's my whole life of experience. Now, if you ask me to write a second book, I'll be like, where do I start? But that's a whole lifetime of thoughts that I just got to spit out. I mean, it felt so good because I've been using my brain in a pretty repetitive way for the last 8 years of pub choir. I sit down, I rewrite the song, whatever. And it felt really different to that because pub choir is about preparing and then improvising. And then this process of writing the book was about being very intentional with each word. That's the exact opposite of pub choir, where I cannot, if I get in my own head and start overthinking stuff, the show sucks. I have to not think really at all and just let it be really intuitive. And so this is, it felt like I was flexing the opposite muscle and it felt really nice to me. And like something that was ready to go. I felt like it was so different from what I've been doing.
And you know when you sat down and were like, okay, now I'm going to write a book. It's pretty daunting, that first, where do I begin?
Yeah.
So did you just think, you know what, I'm going to go back?
I honestly,
or did you...
I sat down and I thought, I don't want to give advice. I just thought, what is something that I feel like I would want to read?
Yes.
Because I love to read and I don't like reading everything.
No.
And I'm like, what do I like reading? I like reading things that I'm sure are true. No, not even like, I'm not even talking nonfiction. I just mean that there's like an honesty to it.
Feels
like
authentic when you read it.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to put on a weird like intellectual character and put the biggest words that I can think of. I want to chit chat like I'm talking to my best friend. I want to tell some goss about my life. I'm very private with all of my pub choir stuff. I don't go out to the merch desk and tell everyone my secrets. I'm like, whatever. I don't put anything on social media, really. No one knows anything about me. So I was like, I feel like, I've got hundreds of thousands of followers at the pub choir. I'm like, I reckon that they'd be interested to know some of this crazy shit that I've been doing.
Speaking of.
Speaking of crazy shit.
Was that hard to include? Like, did you think, like, because when you say you want to be real, you want to be authentic.
Yeah.
I just thought, when I read that, I thought, that's a very because we've all been caught out in weird situations. Did you have to think about, do I really want somebody's story or...
That one probably I wrote the fastest.
Interesting.
The whole book, I tried to just think of stories that I have told to my close friends and family
like at a dinner party
that you get a good reaction for. I'm like, people like this story.
Yeah.
And I hadn't told even many friends or family because it's so horrible.
No.
But I just remember telling it once after a show at Edinburgh Fringe to my pub choir crew, and they were mortified.
Yeah.
And I was like, they've seen me in some really horrible situations. The fact that this has got them like shrieking in pub, I was like, this is a big story. And I was like, oh, this is the scoop. Literally, this is the scoop. So and then I think I wrote it and I made myself laugh while I was writing
That's always
it
a
out.
good sign.
Yeah. I
Always
was like,
a good sign.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And I did show it to Evan, and he was like, do you want this to be the story where everyone will come up to you and talk to you about you shitting your pants,
and they'll also tell you that.
And then and I was like, I would love for people to come up and tell me the story of when they shit their pants. I'm down for that. I'm sick of the other conversation, like, how's pub choir? Like, tell me about the time.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I'm cool with that. I'll bring it on. I'm listening.
That's hilarious. Right at the start of our conversation, we spoke about how when you do something like you do, people can be very like, oh. So when you then spoke about wanting this to be real, that's like the perfect anecdote to tell. Not that you were trying to say, look, I'm not. But I love that because it is very real. Like, we are all human. We all sneeze and cough and everything. Yeah.
I mean, I think that it was also important for me. I don't feel like I can't think of another word. I'm not shitting on myself the whole book. I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm a loser. It's like, no. Yeah. The both versions of me exist. Like, I got the OAM and shit in the bag the same day. We have complexity and dualities. Like, it's
two things can be true.
2 things can be true.
200 things can be true.
I'm a messy grub and I'm really good at my job. And people clap.
I just want to talk a little bit about pub choir itself. I can't imagine there ever being a show that Divide doesn't lift. But has that happened to you?
Absolutely.
Really? So you feel like this is not working?
Well, I mean, I put one very clear example where it's a bomb. But there's been a few. I mean...
How do you know?
Oh,
Because this is why I'm asking, because everyone's still singing. It's not that thing I just shut up and don't know how to sing this.
No, that's probably the biggest tell.
Yeah, like what's the tell?
Is that the audience is talking and not singing. So
they've lost lost them.
Yeah, you lose them. Like, I fully appreciate not everybody wants to sing in public. The times that it goes the worst, when everything goes the wrongest, is when people are doing the event non-consensually. Yeah, like, you have to come. Yeah, you have to come. Or it's gone wrong a few times in corporate situations where I've been brought in. Yeah, I know, and I have a big bitch about that in the book. But I mean, occasionally I've come in and nobody wanted that. And immediately everyone is uncomfortable and you're asking them to do something that they just don't want to do. And I respect that. But then, my God, it's a long hour on stage when you're trying to make something out of nothing. People hate you. There is one, I didn't include this in the book, and I was like, oh, maybe if we ever write another one, that'll be right then. But I have been booed off stage once. and it wasn't...
I can't even imagine.
I wasn't even booed off stage. It was, again, I was booked as part of somebody else's thing. So it wasn't Pub Choir, the show. It was somebody else's event. Well, it was because I was booked as part of a burnout competition event.
Yeah.
And they genuinely... I was booked for a 45-minute thing and they booed as I walked out. So they were not ready. They didn't want this. It was non-consensual singing. And then about 5 minutes in, every single person at the thing was standing with two fingers in the air. And then I kept going. I'm like, oh, just the only way is through. And then about 5 minutes after that, someone started the cheer, fuck off, fuck. And then about 3,000 men on a hill at like a drag race friggin' venue were like, fuck off, fuck off. And I was like, thanks for the warm welcome. Just like, and then they cheered, and I was like, well, you know,
I got a cheer.
they were vibing together. That's
Oh my God, Astrid, that's way worse than mine.
yeah,
That's like the worst I've ever heard.
That was pretty hectic. Yeah.
Okay, the best. And I know this is a tricky one, but not even like the best in terms of how many people or has there been a moment, because I know the emotions that come to people. I've seen it, and as you say, people come up to you afterwards.
Yeah.
Has there been a moment, because you love music and it fills you, and you know, we have these beautiful emotional responses. Have you ever been so filled with that on stage that you almost lose it, or are you able to separate completely? Because, you know, sometimes like you can just sit there and you start crying or you hear
Yeah.
Do you ever get like that filled with just love? And
It feels really good, but I guess I'm the only one who's not experiencing it like everyone else.
of course, 'cause you're working.
Yeah, it's so weird. I start the show as the single performer and everyone is the audience. And then by the end of the show, I'm the single audience. Even my guitarist is busy. I'm the only person not singing, I hope, in the room.
Yeah.
And so it's different for me. And I'm always like, I wonder if I'm good at the show. I'm always like trying to I'm like, I'll never know the answer to that question.
You never
would
will.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would. But I don't know. I guess I have been moved after some, but I've never cried or anything on stage. I guess I'm at work. Like, I've got to conduct the song. I'm always listening as hard as I can as well. Just being like, did that actually work? And because we do the song twice at the end. It's all less and less and less. And then it only culminates 2 climaxes we have at the end of every show. And the first time through, I am listening so hard because I've only got one more opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's my last moment to fix anything or to mesh in anything. So I've not experienced it then. And then we do the second one, and I always listen in to see if the thing I addressed has changed, because after the show, we got to go make the content.
Yes.
We got to go edit it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's different for me.
So you know you said there's no other person doing this.
Yeah.
There's loads of choirs in the world.
Absolutely.
So many
Thousands
choirs
and
in the world.
thousands. Yeah.
But your system as it is,
Yeah.
like that's yours alone. The whole how you came up with the 3 groups, the line, the whole journey from what you started to here.
Yeah.
And what we don't see is the orchestration that you do beforehand. Like to your average pub choir, you kind of bound out on stage. You're like, we're going to sing a song, and it's fun, and it's like follow the dots, and this is the green group, and this is, and it looks easy.
Yeah.
But it's anything but, I know. And this is when your musicality comes into it.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, start to finish, you choose the song, you start your orchestration in your shed. How many hours are we talking? Like, what goes into that? What goes into that you bounding on stage?
It does depend on the song and how tired I am. But I mean, at the moment, I'll often add extra things on in different situations. So like if it's just arranging the singing, which happens 50% of the time, the show is a guitar and just singing, then it might take me a day or two to figure out all of the vocal parts. And then it'll take me a day or two to put them in my own musical notation invention on my PowerPoint. I've decided to call it vox mapping for the book.
Nice.
I gave it a name. I was like, I'm going to name it.
It's a pretty good name. It kind of makes sense.
I Googled for ages things that weren't already.
Vox map. It's good.
So I make my vox map, and that takes me a day or two because it actually is really hard for me to decide the simplest way. You can't just like blurt it all out. It's got to be in chunks. That'll take me a while to rearrange all the words manually, and then after that, it takes me probably like 3 days to find all the little gifts. So like I'm
very funny.
I'm like, please laugh at the gifts. It's probably like a solid week if I'm doing my work and focusing, getting the show ready for my lesson to be taught. But then I will often add new stuff in. Like I'm about to go to the UK, and I've done this a few times now, and I really like it, where I teach the same song for the whole tour. So I do that week of work, I arrange the song so I can teach it the same song to everyone, but at each show I like to add in
A little
one extra layer that every crowd feels like some ownership over the whole performance, because I superimpose everything.
The more successful you get, fame is such a, it kind of mucks around with your head a little bit, fame, I think, from what I've, seen. And so let's go say AGT. People don't see, if they don't know your whole, they just think like, oh, that's amazing. They just walked out there and, wow, there she goes.
Instantaneous.
By the way, I've never been jealous of you in my entire life, not for 1 second, except when you met Terry Crews.
Yes.
I'm Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Gave us a big hug.
Oh,
He's
my God.
the biggest person you've ever seen.
I know, he's massive.
He's like a different category of human.
Yeah.
His whole hand is like this big.
Please tell me he's lovely.
He's so nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about AGT. So how did that come about? And 150 million, did you know that it would go this nuts? No.
They're in the 20th season, and I think they're just looking to always expand and platform new things. So they contacted me, the producers, and were like, oh, we've seen some interesting videos online. Would you want to come on? And I mean, on face value, my immediate reaction was like, well, this is the antithesis of what I do with pub choir. Competitive creativity. I'm like, I'm constantly on stage saying, we're not in competition with each other, stop it. And then they're like, do you want to do your act competitively? And I'm like, oh, no, I don't think so. That's the opposite of what I do.
Yeah.
But then they were pretty insistent. They're like, oh, we would love to know what you would want. And I thought about it, and I kind of flipped it in my own head, being like, oh, I wonder if I could do something new. Instead of being like, I am the talent, watch me. It was almost like I realized I could say the name of the show and with a different emphasis. America's Got Talent, people are the reason that we make art, right? Like, isn't the audience kind of always the main character anyway? Like, they're the ones who buy the tickets and are your fans and make artists and careers. And you could like write songs and for nobody, but you could just sing them in the mirror. Like if you make art and put it out into the world, it's for the audience, isn't it? You want to connect with other people and like give them a shared experience. So for me, I'm like, well, if I could go on the show and somehow portray that intention, I think that the audience is the most important part of what I do. Yeah. And I think that everyone is good enough to collaborate. And I'm so like, it was a risk because you don't know how it will be presented. That I'm in control of all my pop choir stuff. Like, I'm a control freak. I'm happy to say that. But I had no control over this. They were like, okay, well, we'll let you come and do your act and then we'll put it on the show. And I did it in March, and I had to wait all the way until June or whenever it came out to see
what they had done with it.
Yeah, like I knew that I was in the room and I taught the people. I didn't know them or whatever. Did what I always do, but I wasn't sure what would happen. Yeah. And then I saw it and I'm like, I think they got it.
It's so great, isn't it?
Yeah, but really, I was pretty nice.
I've seen it online. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and as you go through these levels, Astrid, like, how are you?
Like, well, I'm kind of not really. I'm trying not to get caught up in it. Actually, like, because I mean, if I'm being honest, when that went to air in America, I was at work. Like, I was in America. Yeah, I was doing shows. I was on tour. Like, it doesn't really matter what platform it is, I still have to walk on stage and improvise a show with real people in front of me and listen. Like,
that aspect doesn't change.
It's very analog.
Can't change.
And I've been told the number 150 million, but that's like unfathomable, right? Like, I understand numbers enough to know what it looks like and like to know that it's like how many zeros or whatever. But like, we're not wired to connect with that many people. Like, isn't it like we're supposed to know 200 people or something?
Yeah, five close friends.
Yeah, 5 people. Yeah. 150 million kind of means nothing to me because I can't understand it. So I'm like, okay, well.
Has anything changed for you with that next level of awareness about you and what you do? Like, what's it done?
I just keep to myself. I would say that people have been saying things. I no one's ever really come up to me very often in 8 years since Pubify started, but I would say that since then people sort of tap me on the shoulder in the spaces. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, even at the airport I was wearing a mask and someone was like, is that Astrid? And I'm like, how do you know?
It's Astrid's sister.
That old lie. I won't be able to use that anymore. Yeah. I have noticed, a few little sideways glances, but I think people just leave me alone, which I'm okay with.
But it's such a great thing in terms of, like you say, like what you actually do hasn't changed. The exposure's changed. But what it does speak to, and this is going right back to the beginning, is that human connection that people are starving for.
Yeah.
Like more and more in this world.
Yeah.
You know, you said what I'm doing, it's not like rocket science or whatever you said. And I know you don't want to be like, I've got all the answers, but gee, just that joy. Like there's like just seeing people around the world during COVID, what you did in COVID, like it's just really all you're doing is what you've always done, as far as I can tell, is your love of music is at the heart of all of this, and you're spreading that love.
Well, it's sort of funny and amazing to me that I'm finding success and like an expanding platform by being super authentic to myself.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone the full nerdy route. I'm like a nerdy teacher with PowerPoint slides, and people keep clapping and more people keep coming. Like I have tried to be in a cool band. I've tried to do other things. The only thing that seems to have really stuck, got my little hooks into things, is when I'm like fully myself, not putting on an act. Like I'm not like that all the time, but that is true. What's happening at Pub Choir is true. It's a true expression of all the things I can do. So that's a huge relief. That's what makes it sustainable, is that I'm not pretending. I am certainly not like that all the time. But as soon as I walk on stage, I am.
You don't get home to going, hey,
oh my God, how exhausted! I would hate that.
How are you?
Yelling at everyone, pushing everyone around. I think that's what's happening, is that I just keep coming back to like, what is authentic, what is real. That is not changing as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no. So with great success also comes criticism. I was very upset in your book to see that someone said, she has a face like a horse you feed by smashing apples through its head.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I think it means I've got big teeth.
I just read that. I was just like, what? What does that mean?
But then I was like, it's so specific and imaginative.
I know, you're like.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Well, like, I mean, it's better than your
you're so pretty, so they can shut up. But
I was like, no one's ever said that. That's a new combination of words in the human experience.
Yeah.
It's like a new sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
And then like the people I know that say, why did you do that song? I hate that song. I don't want to do that song.
Yeah, that's like, really common.
With that criticism, how do you deal with that?
I mean, not well.
No.
I can't lie about that. Like, I take things way too personally because it is my personality. Yeah. The show is personal. Yeah. I'm the only person doing it, and I'm the only
You're
one.
exposed in some ways, aren't you? You're very vulnerable. Well, it's good that you've got other people up there on stage with you, like Waverley.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm sort of obliged to keep tabs a bit, because the entire premise of the show is I'm trying to meet the needs of the audience. I'm trying to shape the show around how they are responding, how they appear to me. And so like if I'm not paying attention to the audience, my show is not authentic. So I kind of do feel obliged to just even briefly scroll a comment section after a show, because sometimes what they say is true and important. Like, I couldn't access the screen. I couldn't get in. I don't know. Like, you know, there's real criticisms that are important to know. And
so constructive criticism.
Yeah, but most of it's not. So that's very
what
rare.
A shit song.
Yeah. What a bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But on the whole, people are pretty nice. But unfortunately, I've got into a bit of a habit of scrolling until I see something bad.
That's such a human thing to do.
Yeah, I'm like, good. Where's the true stuff? Like, who's
so true. It's like when you do an event and there's a whole audience. And sometimes if I'm interviewing someone on stage or giving a speech, everyone's smiling, everyone's coming on. I will find the one person that's like this.
Yeah.
And I think.
Yeah. You become obsessed with it. This is a really sick thing. I do talk to my psychologist about this. Yeah. I feel I've got this weird lie that I've convinced myself that the people who are rude are telling the truth.
No.
Because, I know. Yeah. People who are happy tell the truth too. But that's the thing that I've had to like, no, that's not, people can be happy in telling the truth too. But for some reason, a whole lifetime's worth of gathering emotions and thoughts and experiences, that it felt like they were who were like, they were brave enough to be like, I hated this. And they'd be like, I think everyone hated it. And only this truth teller was, but it's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
All this stuff we tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ridiculous. But it's also very human.
Yeah.
I've written here, this is a love story. How do I pronounce your
Evan.
Evan. It is Evan.
Just well
right. Yeah. I love that.
To be Ewan, but
I said this is a love story to him as well. He's really great in this book.
So great.
He's so great.
He's also
because he has also had to come on this kind of pretty wild ride with you.
Yeah. And he is like so stoked for me.
Isn't that great?
And he really wants me to win. There's not a competition, but he's just like, he is so overjoyed for me, and he's such a good musician. He is the only person that I know who can help me on a really minute level with my arrangements and giving feedback. Like, I really trust him. I show him all my arrangements. I make him sing all of it, and he'll be like, I can't do that. I'm like, well, if you can't do it, I mean, but he's like an incredible asset, and it's I feel really happy and stoked I get to describe him in the way that I see him, because he's really quiet.
Yeah, I met him that day. He was just like scurry through, like, no one look at me.
He is a man. He will never waste a word. And so, but we talk lots, but I really am thrilled that I get to present him as like a soft, funny, gentle, supportive.
How long have you two been together now?
Oh my God. It would be like 18 years or something.
Yeah. I noticed in your acknowledgements.
Oh, at the end, the thank yous?
For little Astrid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so why did you do that? Like, why did you feel it was important for you to say to, I'm presuming it's you, an Astrid in your life.
I've got big news. But
why was it important for you to acknowledge your younger self?
That actually, I think that was one of the few times I was writing something, like a little tear. I put that down and I was like, oh, that feels just right. I mean, for two reasons I can think of. One is that there are so many hard things that she had to do, and I was reminded of them writing the book. Like, it was, going through all the trauma of having these lessons or whatever. I just wanted to let her know that it was worth it. Yeah. All these things that you felt bad about and the way that you look and all this. It's like everything counts. Thank you for being so brave. I'm getting emotional, and I think as well, like, I specifically in that violin story described her as little Astrid. And so it was overall everything counts. Thank you for being brave. But then in this one, it was to stand up for that one girl in that scenario. Yeah. We got to stand up for ourselves.
Yeah, and each other.
And at any time it counts. It's never too late. Like, I feel like little Astrid felt bad for a really long time, but it's never too late. So you'd be like, you did so good. Thank you.
And June?
June is my grandma, who there's a chapter about June at the end, who is, I mean, I met her probably 3 times in my life.
I love this chapter, by the way.
Yeah.
But in your words, please.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I learned about June writing. I didn't know all this stuff. So it was an incredible privilege to learn more about and make sense of, like, this, like, streak of feminism in my family.
It's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah. And it's like, that makes sense. And I don't know, it was strange. A lot of things slotted into place that I wasn't sure how I had arrived at. Like, things like, it was clear to me that she was a victim of domestic abuse. Yeah. Not always physical, but as a child, yes.
She was so thwarted.
Yeah, she was thwarted at every turn. Yeah. And it's weird because with pub choir, I have been so drawn to women's issues. Like, now we've donated over $500,000 to Women's Legal Service, and it felt like this really primal part of me. And I don't know, in a weird way, it slotted in with this. I'm like, I am here because somebody helped her escape that cycle. Yeah. And I was drawn to trying to raise money for women in the same, I don't know. I was like, that makes sense. It was somewhere in me, even though I didn't know specifically. I exist because someone helped a woman out of a cycle of abuse.
And it's funny, you know how you're saying everything counts? Yeah. There's this ribbon that runs through our lives. So from June to what you're doing to you being able to donate to Women's Legal Service, it's pretty incredible. Like, everything does count.
It really does. But I also don't want it to be like, oh, everything matters at all times and you got to.
No.
But it's like, when you look back, you realize how it's connected. It's all important in the end.
You mentioned Mary Oliver in the book. Yeah. I love her so much. Oh. You know, the geese.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've got that above my writing desk. But I always think, like, just thinking, I was with the little Astrid thing, and then the last couple of lines of that poem when she's like, whoever you are, just know you're part of.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Like, she's so great.
Away with words. Whoa.
your creativity and her creativity and June and the violin lessons and music, it's all this kind of has come and landed here.
Yeah.
And everywhere else you've landed.
Yeah.
Like you said, little Astrid didn't have the easiest of times at times. June didn't have the easiest of times of time. Men and women who come to pub choir, sometimes it is their release. Like, what would you like, Astrid? And I promise I'm not going to paint you like an Astrid is the Messiah. But what would you like people to know if they are struggling a little bit? Because a lot of people are struggling. What would you like to say to someone that's just like, oh, I don't know, is it all? This is hard. This is too hard. Whether it's a violin lesson with a mean teacher or a situation they feel they can't escape at home. Like, what have you learned about courage, I guess?
Oh, my instinct is kind of like, it's not about you, it's about us. I'm not sure what each individual person to say, but when you come to pub choir or any shared musical experience, you can't, it's something that you can never do alone. You can't actually be a choir by yourself. It physically requires you to be in communion with others. And I think it's really important to remind yourself that your contribution matters. And it's difficult in life to find ways to do that. Like, what am I doing? I don't matter. And like, there's nothing I can do to stop a genocide. There's nothing that I can do personally to stop a climate crisis. Like there's so much stuff and you feel so helpless. But when you're in a choir, your contribution matters on an equal level with everyone else. Everyone needs to contribute just one voice. Doesn't matter of your experience or anything. Everyone counts exactly the same. And everyone needs to help in order for it to happen. If only one person sings, it's not, like we all have to do a small thing. I feel like the way to get back in your body is to remind yourself of like the reality of your existence in communion with others. And I think choir is the easiest way that I can go off to do that. I'm sure there's lots of other ways.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I tried.
Thank you. This is Frances Whiting's Humankind. In the next episode,
I didn't know if I would ever see my family again. And that was when things were just all black. And that's very, very rare for me because I can usually see hope in anything.
we're about to meet the extraordinary Chung Lei. Chung is a remarkable journalist who's written a memoir called A Memoir of Freedom about her time spent incarcerated in China. This book is testament to the power of human spirit, the power of love, the power of excellent food, and how to hold on to your humanity in the face of the most inhumane conditions.